Hello and welcome to another special reading with me as we open up the energies of your download with the tarot. You'll have to excuse me for today's session. I've been high on allergy medication. I've taken the Claritin and I've taken the Waldoril. There's other things too. It's like I usually joke about it like a vulnerability hangover, but it's not that. It's an eclipse hangover. What's your message? Let's see. Smelling cinnamon when it's not me. Didn't realize that I put this down into the download cup. This came through on the 4th of May. So I had this Libra friend who said that her body odor smelled like maple syrup. I didn't believe it. And I don't have a good sense of smell anyway. Then one day, it's almost as if my horrible scent of smell turned into a perfectly accurate sense. And she's also a young lady I would work out with. She was also a kickboxing instructor. And she was totally right. She did smell she just naturally smelled like maple syrup. I mean, leave it to a Libra to sweat such a delightful thing. Anyway, so I've noticed with this recent, there's some recent changes, and I thought I was having a psychic experience smelling cinnamon, and then I went through some protocols because there's healthy, I wouldn't say healthy skepticism, but there's just healthy protocols is what I would call them, to make sure that an experience you're having is a metaphysical or supernatural or paranormal spiritual experience, that there are no physical, biological, or rational explanations for something happening. It's just sort of a scientific turn of mind, and it's part of how I see my life. Anyway, so I did that, and then I realized that it was not a psychic experience I was having. That because of some recent changes, and because of a current change with a product I was using, that it made me smell like cinnamon, but only under certain conditions, when certain things happened. And so I had this other experience recently on the 4th of May 2022 where I was smelling cinnamon, and it was not the confluence and the mix of variables that created this to be in actuality what was happening. So this is the most convoluted Mercury retrograde explanation of a download I think I've ever explained. This particular experience in particular had no biological, physiological reasoning. This really was a psychic experience. So something about you smelling cinnamon, or someone you might hear about someone, or someone may be explaining to you when they're smelling cinnamon, that is some kind of trigger. It may trigger this message, and it may not have anything to do with anything spiritual or supernatural. You could overhear someone at a diner requesting that the waitress or the waiter or the server bring some more cinnamon, and it reminds you of this message that you're hearing today. Or it could actually be that you smell cinnamon throughout your day somehow. Okay, let's open this up, because this seems like a message that has more to do with the delivery and the catalyst for cognition or understanding. For some of you, it will be a separate scent that savors very strongly of something from your past, triggering some nostalgia. Or it may be that you actually smell something from your childhood, or you meet a new person that wears a familiar cologne or perfume. Reminds you of a time in your life when you visited certain places, when you were with certain people. Tell me about the first and strongest message. Energy, please. I wonder if I could use could I use Astroglide for this chair? I don't really want to spend money on WD-40. Thank you, I appreciate your help for my squeaky chair to get the squeak out. Okay, first strongest, I have Astroglide because it helps getting in and out of latex, like latex costuming or just latex material. King of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Two of Wands. We're doing the Two of Wands for Tarot Talk. Okay. This is a lot of people. So this is clearly some form of alliance that's coming together. My eyes. How's everyone's sleep? Is it returning to normal yet? Okay, so this looks like some kind of interpersonal situation. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. We have the Six of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Star. This is such a Disney energy. It says like 0 to hero, the underdog comes forth. Actually, the astrology strongly favors the underdog, specifically underdogs of the past. So, if you'd like to mine your previous experience for something that was previously successful, you may have another run of it, another run of success with it. I like this because this speaks to belief. Returning. Last position. Last position. It's almost like when you step off of the airplane to a very different environment, and the air is different. It smells different. Everything is just sensory, like you're in a very different, like everything's very different. Ooh, the Ace of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. Overall, this is about using your discernment to start something new that is, it's either starting something new or returning to a previous investment, previous idea. We have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Swords and the Devil with the Baphomet. This depiction only says that we turn into the Baphomet, that we turn into this not very flattering rendition of a goat head. I was in a session with a Hierophant who told me that. He said, Natalie, you have a lipstick smudged up between right there. I said, yes, I know. That's on purpose. I don't think I'm passing it off successfully. I think people have different spaces in between their Cupid's bow. Anyway, this Baphomet says that we turn into this. There are very flattering renditions of goat heads, and this is a very unflattering one. So there's this almost like this trigger, like is the monster gonna come out? Is the Baphomet gonna come out? Is the devil gonna come out? Is the goat gonna come out? You know, it's this sort of, this may be someone that's very spicy, but they also have a temper that you're sort of afraid to see. Or this is you, and people are walking on eggshells around you. This is probably just like a person in the situation. This is a very people-heavy relationship, interdynamical. I don't think that's a word. I take it. I rescind. I take it back. What did I say? Interdynamical is what I said. Okay, so I feel like you kind of can't go wrong here. This feels like almost like a Mercury retrograde energy shift reading, to be honest. All of these readings, and not just mine, everyone's readings are timeless because time is not linear. You guys, they turned the CERN machine back on. So expect the Mandela effect to be even more pronounced. Just expect a lot of mishigas. Okay. Let's open it up. I'm kind of feeling the spiciness. I feel like I'm very dry and subdued today because reasons. So let's use a spicy deck. Let's spice up our lives. I love my crone energy. I'm very comfortable in my crone energy. Let's bring in some spice. Tell me about the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords and this Knight of Wands and the Two of Wands, which is going to be tarot talk for this month, for the month of May. Thank you. Ooh, oh, a double Six of Wands. Okay, this looks like a pursuant, hot pursuit type energy. Pardon my reach. Six of Wands. In this deck, touching the magic of the, is that really it? The magic of the hare and the dove. Oh, they're there. Growing closer, growing apart, deluding, confirming. Every game of pleasure must end and doubts must be dispelled. This is exactly, okay. So this is exactly what I said. This sort of pursuing, there has to be, this is almost like flirting back and forth, either stops or it becomes its next phase of energy exchange. There may be some confusion here because this Queen of Swords could have gone a little bit cold on this King of Pentacles. So But then what is it about the past? This may be going back to a decision, or back to even just flirtatiousness, going back to some kind of, now this doesn't have to be flirtatiousness, you could be going back to inspiration. Could be going back to inspiration for something. You could have a fire lit under you about your job, your work, what you do, what you're passionate about, what you were passionate about. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the Star, the Six of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. I'm not taking all of that. Tell me about the Star, the Six of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. Thank you. The Lovers. This one's not as fun because everyone just looks pissy here. Come on. Yeah, everybody just looks sort of. I remember working retail. They were training, so I would be helping to close, and so the closer was talking about her training because they were training her to style the forms, which are the mannequins. And they told her, and she told us, that like these 3 mannequins were all supposed to look like they were going to the same party. I'm in such a weird mood today. Ah. Oh, this is weird. It's like that's what it is. It's like a fuzzy signal. Like my body's the radio, but if my body has an allergy, then it's like the signal just comes in a little staticky. So there's moments when it's clear, like the song comes in, you can hear the lyrics, and then there's times when it's staticky. Actually, Matt Fraser is the same way with allergies. For me, it's usually headaches. Did you know that 25% of the population have never experienced a headache in their entire life? The Lovers. Seduction. The red magic of the plants. Nature is an unerring guide. Plants and animals are examples to be imitated. Magic perfume seduces and sustains us in important sentimental choices. This is like that scene in Chocolat where she gives the woman these nuts for her husband to make him feel amorous again. And then he finds them and he eats them, and then he becomes extremely amorous again. But it's because of like the natural magic of Via, you know. So there could be, but that's it. It is something that you're going to smell. It's like you smell something that makes you more amorous for your inspiration of the past or from the past. So in some of your cases, it's going to be for a person, a past person, or it could be so funny. The filter's only on one of these cameras. So it's whatever this passion is, though. Let me just do that for a thumbnail. I'm just kidding. I wish. So whatever that is, though, whatever that is for you, And I feel like you're not forcing this. This is coming up naturally. There's something real spicy about this. I'm not doing as great a job as I probably usually do conveying the spiciness of this, but this is extremely spicy. With the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, double Six of Wands, and the Queen of Wands with the Devil. This is very... And someone's like worried about this. Someone might not want you to feel especially invigorated. Someone might be trying to dull your shine. Someone might not want you to feel... If this is like with yourself, you might find that someone around you doesn't really want you to shine bright like a diamond. For some of you, come on baby, light my fire. I'm close. I can kind of almost grab it, but I kind of can't. I kind of just, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. But this Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands are just very different. One is so cold and detached, and the other one is the total opposite, which is such the opposite of detached, so as to, it's actually subjective, thinking from, not of. Where, okay, so the Queen of Wands thinks from, not of. They're thinking from the nucleus of this passion, which looks a little bit too hot to handle. The Queen of Swords is thinking of, not from. They have that space and that distance to think of something or think of the situation. And then there's this King of Pentacles who might be this person in the overall, because of these other pentacles. They might be the one to sort of make this judgment. Let's take a look at this Queen of Wands. This is my Scarlet O'Hara card. But it doesn't always have to be like Scarlet. You can't look at that. This this knave, this Page of Swords, he is literally like all up in there. Like all up in there. So that's like, you cannot see that, YouTube. No, YouTube. Okay, let's take a look. What does this mean? Biting. The Knave of Swords, biting. The magic of bitter almonds. Enemies of the couple are both inside and outside of it. They should look at each other, because they're not looking at each other. Vigilance does not distract from pleasure, and pleasure does not distract from vigilance. I keep thinking that I said vigilance, but I'm pretty sure I said vigilance. Okay, so enemies both inside and outside. So honestly, with the Devil here, inside, it's your own egoic worries and fears. Okay, so I'll use the Mercury retrograde as an example. So if you have Mercury Pluto, whenever Mercury retrogrades, as it does 3 to 4 times a year, it's going to pull that aspect with it. So how this used to manifest for me, because I'm a Mercury Pluto person, was really uncomfortable. And the way that it works for me now, the way that it manifest now is a lot more comfortable for me. So I want you to look at it that way. Like, is it comfortable to sit in this mentality? Is it comfortable to feel this way about a person or a situation? And then sort of use that as a point to be able to check yourself without being, oh, that's so intricate. That's what that whole long, I want to say Mishigas, but it's not. It's part of your download about me and the cinnamon and being able to smell myself and not smell myself. That is all a big analogy to this, is you being able to smell this in yourself and you not being able to smell this in yourself. Because if you can smell this about yourself, then you'll be able to not turn into the Baphomet and not self-destruct and self-sabotage. Because Mercury, Pluto, you can be really sharp. You know, if you're a writer, if you're an investigator, if you like mysteries, unsolved mysteries. So it's how you use it. So that's what this will depend on. The Knave of Swords. That's the super secret Scorpio spy card. So if that has the dark subconscious expression, it's going to self-sabotage this person. If you can smell it, if you can tell the difference, then you can use the conscious manifestation of it. And you can use it to be creative. But the discernment is what makes all the difference. So whether you are reviving a love connection, a sexual connection, a friendship, business idea, whatever it happens to be, the inspiration, the original inspiration. Why am I talking like Vincent Price? I don't know. Let's take a look at your guidance, and then I will leave you to it. There we go. Oh, my eyes. Oh, okay. So we have the white owl. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. They're not without. They're not. This is what I tell my other Hierophant, is that they're not, and I tell everybody, they're not. It's not far away. You don't have to even reach out your arm. The guidance, the messages, everyone's born psychic. Everyone is born with ability. People like me and psychic mediums and mediumship, we just stayed connected to it, whether it was positive or scary or negative, whatever, but we just stayed kind of like that. So just know that, and just remember that you were born 100% psychic, and you can, that's all there with you. It's not far. You don't need books, and you don't need anything. You don't need anything. You just need quiet time with yourself. That's all. And if you have a very sincere desire for the truth, if you have a very sincere desire to use that ability and to reconnect with that ability for your own sake, if you are very authentic and sincere and you feel this sincerely with yourself, it doesn't matter how alone you are, it doesn't matter how crummy life feels, it doesn't matter how hopeless things look, it doesn't matter how lonely you feel or how abandoned by God, source, universe, or even your own life. If you feel like your own life, your own dreams abandon you, your own love abandon you, whatever, doesn't matter. 519 Mander. Doesn't matter how rejected or forsaken you feel. If it's sincere, if you have that sincere desire to reconnect, you will. And you will be guided to whatever you need that is perfectly fitting for your path, your own unique path. And you will have your own adventure and your own stories about what that is and what that looks like. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. And the Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. That's interesting that I said it's like it's not far. You can, you know, reach out and embrace it. So it's that close to you. It's close enough. Everything you need is right within your arm span. I mean, I have very, very long arms, but like even your arms that are likely many feet shorter than my arms, you can still reach out and embrace it. New growth and potentials on the horizon. So I only want you to think of horizons as far as your arms reach, especially for anything spiritual, but also your dreams and your hopes and your desires and everything that you sincerely, in your heart of hearts, want for yourself. And I feel like that is what this whole reading for you is about. Smelling the cinnamon again and reconnecting with whatever this is, Ace of Wands for you. I'm seeing Mario Kart, like the retro Mario. Okay. I love you guys. Take very good care. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it